One of the most common tools that managers work with is a request for proposal, an RFP. So I want to cover just briefly today what an RFP is and why it's important. So a request for proposal is just that. When you're seeking bids for projects or for services, it lays out the criteria for what you're looking for and it specifies it. And it ensures, most importantly, that when your manager is getting bids back, that you can compare apples to apples. So a few things that are listed in an RFP. First of all, the overview of the association, right? What's the name of it? What does it look like? How many homes are there? Where is it listed? What is the project overview? Is this a service contract for lawn and snow? Is this a painting contract? Is this a siding contract, a landscape contract, whatever it might be? What is the project overview? The more detailed here you can be, the better. And what are the project goals? Again, be detailed here. The more detailed you can be, the better. The requirements, including the budget. This one can be a little subjective, it depends on the project, but sometimes it's helpful to at least list a budget number so that they know if they can even compete. What are the deliverables and the specifications of the project and the timelines? The project timeline is really important. This is something that I think we take advantage of, or we take for granted a little bit. We assume the contractor, once we engage a contractor, is just going to start up and do the project. But list timelines, that's very helpful. Request references. Don't be shy to request references. It's very easy for contractors to give you a list of other associations for the service or the project that they're doing that they've done. And don't be afraid to follow up on that, especially for large projects. A proposal due date. One of the last things you should have in a request for a proposal is when the proposal should be submitted back to you. Give people deadlines. And the criteria for evaluating the RFP. What are the specifics of the RFP? And then who should the RFP go back to? These are the primary things that should be listed in a request for proposal so that when you're receiving all these proposals back, they're all apples to apples and they're outlined the same. So here's an example of what an RFP might look like. They all might look a little bit differently, but this one I like in particular because it actually lists an area that the vendor can fill in the dollar amounts for the components of the project. And then you can collect all those, and then you can really go to your board, and as a board, you can review in detail what the cost components and differences are. So hopefully this is helpful on RFP, request for proposal. Lots of other tips and tricks like this on sharpermanagement.com.